Good evening, Blue Otter League family. We are back with another week of Blue Otter League Masters. It's Yanni, it's Fury, giving you all the action that we're going to have coming up between Lit Esports Blue and Team Ambition Fear.
So that should be pretty good. It is a 5-1 team, if I'm not mistaken, in Lit Esports versus TA Fear 3-3. TA been a little bit on the fritz this season so far. Definitely need to win tonight. There's 2 weeks left. Technically 3 if you want to count tonight. It's 7, 8, 9, right? So they have tonight and 2 more weeks to really step it up to clinch a spot. Right now, they are in 5th. So not looking good for them because it is top 4. So they definitely need to win tonight. They are desperately hoping for a loss from either SDC Death Cards or Go Next Gaming to clinch their spot in the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't won a match since the 20th of March. It's been a very long time, almost a month for a team that started out 3-0, which has been a massive surprise. Now, they did have a couple of roster changes which could have negatively affected things, but the good news is the last 2 weeks at least, they've been 3-game series. So Team Ambition Fear has at least been in it, but it's starting to get worrisome here. You know, holding currently that 5th place spot, top 6 make the playoffs. They're starting to get in the danger zone for a team that we thought was probably going to run away with things at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it's not an ideal position to be in. It is top 6, you're right. I'm thinking plat, gold, silver for top 4. I forgot the seeding's a little bit different in Masters. But yeah, 3-3 right now. They're on the cusp. They definitely need to be careful. If they're going to take out a win, if it's against Lit Esports Blue, this is the perfect night to do it, right? They take on a win tonight. They look good going into next week. You could say it was the roster changes that did it for them. You know, some people might say they might have had a little bit of an easier first couple of weeks. Who knows? But coming into tonight is where they need to step it up. They need to start looking for a pretty good spot going into these couple of games, as we are starting to get into the bans here. Looks like just a couple of support bans coming right out the gate with the Thresh and the Seraphine.
Yeah, no surprise considering Banks really loves to play that Thresh, get that one taken off the table. Seraphine's a pretty interesting one. Everybody knows that Seraphine just is really a pain to deal with. You know, doing a bunch of damage, providing a bunch of CC and everything like that. Just overall, a pretty rough time to play against that. We're going to see the Caitlyn get taken away by TA Fear. They do not want to have to deal with the very potent bot lane of Lit Esports. Blue, Bubs, and Banks have been one of the best bot lanes in the league.
Yeah, I'm wondering if TA Fear are trying to get on the Xayah here. So far, Caitlyn Thresh banned out, Jinx Seraphine. Jinx very strong in the ADC role as well at the moment. Xayah, I think, is a more prevalent ADC at the moment. A lot of people would disagree, but I think that she is just incredibly strong. She can play very aggressive. She can be very defensive if need be, and just overall a really strong champion, especially if you want to first pick it. But I don't know if TA Fear are looking for that or if they're going to try to clinch their jungler first off, as Lit Esports Blue coming into their final ban after that Volibear ban that TA Fear don't want to see. I guess they don't want to get dove.
And talking about Xayah, if it doesn't get banned here, it's very likely to be picked. It is the second most picked AD carry in the league, 19 times throughout the season. It does have a slightly negative win rate, but I mean, you know, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. And as long as it's not that far below 50%, you don't really mind too much. We see the Gragas get taken away. It's been an incredible flex lately at very high levels of play. So just taking that out of the playbook of Fear, but Fear says, you know what, we're going to do what every team has done before us. We're going to pick Jarvan.
J4 first when Wukong's up as well. That's a surprising first pick for me because we've been seeing Wukong picked so many times and he's played very well. However, J4 is as well. Maokai, a decent pickup into that as Milio gets grabbed right up. That is a champion that is so aggressive in lane. The poke that he has, the healing that it's just such a strong support right now. It's relatively hard to play into. If you don't really know what you're doing, you need to have some kind of like instant lock on support. I mean, maybe we see a Nautilus here. I don't think they're going to pick an Enchanter into the Milio, but let's see what TA Fear goes for the next 2 picks.
I forgot that that champion was legal to pick. Speaking of
Nautilus.
legality of champions, we're not going to be able to see Tom Kench here tonight. If you've been on TikTok or League YouTube Shorts or anything like that, you'll know that Tom Kench is doing some very, very dirty things on the Rift, so he is not going to be enabled for tonight's games. As you mentioned, Nautilus, it's a pretty solid pickup here. Emilio is not one of those very tanky champions.
No, not by any means. I'm interested to see what Lit Esports takes as an ADC with Emilio, however, as Rumble gets into locks for TA Fear here. I can all imagine that's mid-top, unless they're going for the coveted ADC Rumble. But Nautilus, a good pickup into that Milio. It's all about making sure you're landing those dredge lines, and then obviously after your 6, you just push R on whoever you need to, and you're fine. Milio can't do too much about that. So far, TA Fear with a really good pick comp. At the same time, a decent skirmishing 5v5. The thing is, Lit Esports Blue so far has the same team comp, essentially. They want to fight in chokes and look for big ultimates with Maokai. On the other side of that, TA Fear wants to look for big ultimates with Rumble. So we'll see how that plays out into the later stages of the game as Lucian is picked up with that Milio. That could look pretty good. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of Lucian Nami, right? Lucian Braum. Lucian Milio is not something that I've personally seen yet, so I'm pretty excited to see how that plays out in lane and what TA Fear draft into it. But Xayah is going to get banned out. Makes perfect sense. It's left up on the table, and you pick Rumble first, and there goes a big part of your comp. Xayah gone, and now I imagine Lit Esports probably going to get rid of another ADC.
Yeah, and harkening back to the Milio Lucian topic, it's not a combination that I've thought of very often. I like to play myself a lot of Lucian, and typically, as you mentioned, the pairing is Nami, but when Milio puts down his campfire, Lucian deals more damage.
And range.
And also gets buffed by Milio's campfire to proc his Light Slinger passive to deal more damage. This feels like it's all ins, or it's, back and forth trades could be incredibly strong. I really want to see how that works out, because I might just find another bot lane pairing that I want to put together. As you mentioned, other AD carry down, it is Kai'Sa getting taken off the board, and then mid laners being taken away from by TA Fear. They're getting rid of the Veigar, who has seemingly really been untouched these last couple of patches, despite the fact that his presence is everywhere right now.
Yeah, he's very strong in the mid. He's very strong as an APC. Was slightly touched on his E, so now you're maxing W second instead of your E. But Veigar still, regardless, a very strong pickup. Galio, a pretty solid pickup. However, right now, Lit Esports Blue needs damage. Galio's going to do damage regardless, obviously, because he is Galio. But Lucian, so far, really their only source of any real damage. And it's the only AD damage they have so far. Lit Esports Blue, I imagine, go something AD top lane. Maybe they look for something like a Kled. Maybe they go for something all in like a Camille to sync up with that Galio. Never mind, TA Fear decided that they were going to pick that up. Probably read right into Lit Esports Blue's draft there. Camille going to be a great pickup with the J4, a great pickup with that Rumble, keeping somebody isolated to just burn them down. And then the Aphelios gets hovered here for TA Fear on the final pickup. Oh, switching over to a Misfortune, that could work as well. They just need to be careful that they're not channeling that ultimate while Maokai still has its ultimate up. And that is going to be the MF lock-in.
Yeah, and Lit Esports, they're probably going to have to go some sort of carry in the top lane. Otherwise, you've just got a 3-tank composition, which can be okay, but, Camille can shred through them. Misfortune ultimates will deal a lot of damage regardless of how much armor that you build. And then, of course, Rumble can tear through you. I like what they have with Maokai and Galio here. Maokai being able to go in, and then Galio following it up with big knockups. And there is the carry that we expected to see. It's going to be JJ Luna on Jax. We've seen the highs and lows of JJ Luna on this champion, though. I believe the last time we saw them, I think they went, like 0-7 or something like that?
Yeah, it was not a great look on it. And then especially when on TA Fear you have the severe nuke on with the Camille Q. You've got that mini Cho'Gath ult on a 3-second cooldown later on in the game, just absolutely shredding through these tanks. So you have a front line, but at the same time, you kind of don't. Misfortune is going to be ulting through that. Camille is going to just be queuing you on cooldown. The Rumble ult is going to have a lot of magic pen later on in the game, especially with the way those harpoons work now. 20% on each one, stacking up to 40%. So Galio and Maokai probably gonna have a little bit of a hard time. Jax maybe have a little bit of a hard time even through his ultimate if Rumble is ahead at all. And against the Galio, I don't know. That could go either way. I expect to see Maokai mid quite a bit. I don't think we're going to see him a lot in the early game because it's Maokai. It's kind of hard to gank. But Rumble, not a whole lot of movement in his kit, especially if his W is down. But we'll see how they end up playing that one out.
Yeah, I think it's actually kind of interesting and definitely possible for the Maokai to go gank mid. You've got CC out of Galio. Rumble's a melee mid laner. It looks like they're sending him mid, and
Oh yeah,
with the
100%.
lock-ins that we've just seen on our end, it's almost assuredly going to be Rumble mid, which means that it is kind of easy pickings for Maokai to be able to come in so long as they catch Rumble committing for like a cannon minion or something like that. Going to be interesting to see how that one ends up shaking out. A nice matchup that we get to highlight here. Alistair and Bubs in the bot lane, two of the best AD carries in the league. The only other one that would be up there with them is Joker. And these guys pump out so much damage, and it's going to be a little bit weird because they've got two very different champions when it comes to dealing damage, with AoE from Misfortune and then Lucian just trying to single target people down one by one.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I like Lit Esports Blue bot lane a lot more than I like TA Fears. However, I like TA Fears top side more than Lit Esports Blue. There's more damage in TA Fear. There's more carry potential where even if one person's behind, you still have another carry on the backup. Lit Esports, they just have two tanks in their top side. Jax, that pseudo bruiser tank that can still one-shot, but if he gets behind, he's still going to be a champion, but Camille is in that same boat where even if she's behind, she gets a couple items and she's definitely still a champion. So TA Fear have the top side in my book, but Lit Esports Blue could definitely win through the bot lane. The Lucian and the Milio just constantly being aggressive is going to just be Alistair and Dinosaur's downfall. Unless they don't play aggressive, which then Lit is going to have a much harder time playing the game. But I just imagine seeing constant trades on the bot side, constant poke from Lucian and Milio. Misfortune and Nautilus, it's a little bit of a weird draft for me, taking the Misfortune, because Nautilus kind of wants to go all in. Misfortune into Lucian Milio doesn't really want to trade early. She kind of wants to stay back, farm, get a couple levels, maybe get an item, and then look to really start trading, throw out queues for double up. But I don't know. My bot side book is all Lit Esports, but overall in the game, if I'm just looking off of draft, I want to give this to TA Fear.
Yeah, I actually think TA Fear might have a bot lane advantage, mostly because of the jungler they have on their team, right? Because they do have easy engage with the Nautilus against two targets that really can't take a lot of damage in Lucian and Milio. So if you bring the Jarvan down there, like we know most Jarvans do in this league, they'll immediately go bot lane level 2 and try to get an early kill. That bodes really well for TA Fear. It just depends on how they execute that, right? Because we also have seen some Jarvans that like not to do that and elect to full clear, and we're like, what are you doing, man? You're playing Jarvan. You're supposed to hit level 2 and just go gank. So it will be on the jungler of Lit Esports Blue to be able to make sure that, hey, I'm going to shade down here. Ruko is going to do a good job of trying to shade, making sure that Jarvan isn't able to come in, get early kills, and set the bot lane behind.
That's true. Although with the whole full clearing thing, J4, the whole XP change thing with junglers, I think they feel like they're getting hit harder than they actually have been. Some junglers do need to stay in the jungle for a little while and just power farm, but J4 shouldn't have to do that. It should be a cheese gank off level 2. Where he decides to do that, I do not know. He might go for Elucidator in the mid lane. I think that might be the easiest place to go against a Galio. Get his dash out if he even has it up, and then go for a play from there. But we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Yeah, we're gonna see what these teams have to bring on the Rift, because it is a big match here for TA Fear. Lit Esports can pull away from the pack, but TA Fear want to make sure they can retain a playoff spot. We are in the spectator delay, and when we return in just a few minutes, it'll be game 1 on Summoner's Rift, TA Fear versus Lit Esports Blue. right, Blue Otter League family, we are made it to Summoner's Rift for our first game this evening between Team Ambition Fear and Lit Esports Blue. Yanni and Fury still on the call. We've got during the break we had some large disagreements about the compositions here, so we're just in our minds just feuding over who we think has the better composition and what's going to happen this game. So we got a nice little wager on top of that.
The start for this game is interesting. This is a very interesting bush to be sitting in. Um, I understand the process behind it, but it doesn't look like TAF are going for anything too risky in this first game here. Lit Esports just full stacking on this blue. And then everybody will just move out their separate ways. However, TAF are not getting any counter wards for this year. They're not moving up and getting any wards on the top side. So they're going in relatively dark here.
Yeah, and you know, I liked the bush that Lit sat in because if people invaded in this league, it would be the perfect bush to sit in against the Nautilus. But we've seen Nautilus, we've seen Blitzcrank, we've seen Thresh, and we've seen no invades in any of our games. Yeah, and we've seen no invades in any of our games. And, you know, there is something to be said for that, right? Because these players are very high-level players, you know, master tier or high diamond players. You make an early mistake like that, and it is very hard to come back. So I understand why the teams kind of refrain from it.
That's very true. Completely understandable. They don't want to give any kind of leeway for a lead that early in the game. Just let them do a 5-stack, and then they'll win it out in an actual lane instead of coin flipping and invade.
No, where's Jarvan going? No!
He is going to, not even full clear, to camp to top side.
No, Buddha, why, bro?
He doesn't
Just
believe.
go bot lane, dude. I swear, man.
It's I don't know. I really think people are too hung up over the XP changes, and they think it hurts them more than it does. I can assure you, a kill in the early game or even an assist is gonna give you quite a bit of golden XP.
Yeah.
And right now, this Galio is looking pretty juicy for a gank, as Maokai's already going top.
Yeah, that's pretty fair, but Ruko is here. The first move is made by the Maokai, and Sevier is in a lot of trouble, and JJ Luna gets to pick up first blood. Buddha walking up there, but realizes that there is nothing that they can do. And Lit Esports coming out with fire early.
What parallel dimension am I in that a Maokai can gank earlier than a J4 and actually help get a kill? And I don't know why Buddha didn't just go mid, and now Severe's Hashinshin TPing!
Wait, no, not again! Severe, why? JJ Luna, 2-0 to start the game!
That is just an int TP if I've ever seen one. That's just crazy. You know that Ruko can't be very far away. He's Maokai, he's got about 200 movement speed at level 3, but 2 kills right off the bat and a dredge line in the bot lane.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage coming down. Alistair, level 3, flashing forward with the auto attack. The ignite is enough, but they take a turret shot on the way out. They will manage to survive the flash forward, the heals, the damage coming out. What a play by Alistair!
So far, game has been flipped. I thought it was going to be a win on the top side, loss on the bot side, and it is completely flipped on its head. Alistair and Dinosaur Chainsaw with an insane level 3 fight there. Now Lucier in the mid lane with Buddha.
Nice flash out of Buddha there. Forces the flash out of Scorpio, but the auto attack is enough. And in the blink of an eye, TA Fear have gotten 3 kills out of nowhere.
It's almost like Buddha could have done that a lot earlier when he saw Ruko top lane instead of going all the way from mid to top.
Listen, he did it. There. He did something, right?
He finally went there, and they ended up getting a kill. And JJ
Luna! JJ Luna!
Oh my, there's no way you get 2 kills and still get solo killed. He's gonna back and get a Sheen though. Severe, hopefully gonna just start holding this wave towards his tower. Should be a decent freeze that he has set up. JJ Luna is gonna have to TP now. And Severe should have a decent setup. Is about 8 CS behind JJ Luna that will get diminished here in just a few seconds as he picks up this wave that's pushing into him. 2 waves now pushing his way. Should be able to even that out, but now a 600 gold lead over to the side of TA Fear. Drake is up in about 10 seconds, and neither team really has the prio over it, although you do see 4 towards the bot side of Lit Esports. It looks like Ruko is setting up for a potential lane gank.
Yeah, and they could be anticipating that Buddha is in the area. Ruko going to clear out the wards here. Alistair, Dinosaur, Chainsaw know they have to play back. It's really all on Buddha here, right? And especially because this mid lane is going back and forth a little bit. Both of these players jockeying for position. It's Ruko that's going to be the first one to get there, but Buddha following very closely behind. There is a one level difference here that Buddha has the advantage. Banks and Bubs on the roam first, which means Ruko is going forward. They've knocked up Buddha, but they can't see him any longer. You will be able to flag and drag out, but that does mean that Lit Esports Blue has control of the river if they want to start up the dragon.
That should be a free Drake towards them. Buddha did go into the top side, however. Looks like they are not going straight for it. Bubs and Banks gonna go back to lane here. Dinosaur Chainsaw just gonna force them out to go the long way around back to their lane instead of through the river. Alistair and Dinosaur are gonna get some vision, hopefully in this river around the Drake to see if it's being started up. Alistair could push for level 6 here shortly and look to really start pushing out, but now he's in trouble.
I
Gets
don't know
slowed up
about
by
that.
that
I think
sapling.
he's.
Ruko's
I
looking over
think
the wall, and Galio is level 6.
they're too low, man. They are way too low. Although Elucidator's Light roaming up to the top side. Budo ready to engage onto JJ Luna. Finds the knockup, but Luna will be forced to flash with the hook shot from Camille coming out. So putting down some pressure on the top laner that has the most kills in the game right now. And that does mean because they went to go put that pressure down, Lit Esports is able to take the Drake.
Yeah, as soon as I see Buddha top lane, perfect call for this first Drake. Infernal, you definitely want that, not only for yourself so that Bub, Scorpio, and JJ Luna can do a little bit more damage this early on, but it really is just a takeaway from Severe, Buddha, Elucidator's Light, and Alistair. Imagine if those carries and just main damage dealers had an Infernal Drake 7 minutes in. This bot lane would be going a lot worse than it already is, but this should balance out the damage for Bubs and Banks now, should allow them to try to get back into this game because they are 15 CS down at the moment. That is going to be quite a bit of gold. And now Lucidator's Light with a fight in the mid lane.
Well, the ultimate goes down. Nice sidestep from Scorpio, but still in a lot of trouble. Not out of the woods yet. The auto attacks are coming down. He is going to turn to try to take out Buddha, but can't do so. It is another kill going over to Team Ambition Fear. It's now been 5 straight after, Severe died twice in the top lane.
Yeah, it was a very smart dive there from Buddha because had Elucidator started taking the tower shots, he would surely be dead. But Buddha with that Bambi Cinder is able to take just one more tower shot than Elucidator could. End up getting him another kill there. So 1-0-1, all down the board except for Camille, 1, 2, and 0. So everybody sharing in a kill and assist. Sans the top lane has brought himself back into the game. Only 4 CS down now. Has his Sheen, 2 long swords, and a cloth armor. Probably going for plated steel caps, if I'm not mistaken. If he's building that out of here. But 47 CS to 49. You have a pretty decent lead from jungle down to ADC as well in terms of the CS already. And even with a couple of not necessarily botched ganks, but probably ganks that Buddha probably could have done a little bit better on. They still end up getting a couple kills around the board, and now Alistair getting pushed into his tower. Pretty ideal situation for him because he can farm under tower very well.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if Buddha and Severe go and fight around for this Rift Herald. They do have an EXP advantage. It's fairly large, despite the fact that they're both even in levels. JJ Luna and Ruko just dinging 7 and 6 respectively. And the entire team of TA Fear up there to take that out. And not too much that
the
Ruko's
dive
going to
in
be
the
able to
bot
do.
lane.
Yeah, that'll happen sometimes when you leave your AD carry alone. Kind of surprised they got dove by a Melio and a Lucian, but Bub was able to survive, just get out of the turret range. And, they had to burn everything, but that is well worth it, especially because they were so far behind it. But now the CS has been equalized a little bit, getting a plate on top of it. Very, very good for Bubs.
Yeah, Bubs popping that exhaust. Banks using that heal to keep him alive. I can only imagine that heal stopped him from dying to a tower shot for sure. And they get up with a very nice kill now. That it unfortunately goes on to Banks. You'd probably like that on Bubs at this point, but a kill is a kill. You get a little bit more pressure in the bot lane. You're able to get a back off of that. Get some items under your belt, and I'm not really sure what they're going to set up for here now. Ruko does have the ultimate. They could look for a gank in the bot lane, perhaps even another dive with Ruko ultimate, with Scorpio ultimate, and just jump on Alistair again. Whether or not they do that, I'm not sure. Don't know if they really want to risk going for a dive sending 4 down there, but I feel like they could definitely get away with it.
Yeah, and Team Ambition has to be a little bit careful on the bottom side because Dinosaur Chainsaw is still level 5, will hopefully be level 6 soon. And you can tell Ruko really wants to try to get in there before this happens. Bub's dashing forward, kind of giving it away a little bit. Alistair, Dinosaur Chainsaw, they have to know that something is going on, which does buy Bubs and Banks a lot of room to operate when they didn't have it before. You get that breathing room in the bottom lane, and things just feel so much better. The game feels so much better, and things not really going the way for JJ Luna, and Buddha is just going to dunk him over the wall.
That's going to be the disrespect cataclysm. They're going to drop that Rift Herald, look to potentially even get first tower off of this. Rift Herald, Drake will be in 1 minute as a little skirmish opens up in the bot lane, but nothing too much as Ruko sitting on those Raptors could look for a gank over the wall, but it looks like Scorpio is going to back. We're actually seeing Buddha back as well, perhaps just trying to give the solo tower over to Severe, but we are seeing a TP out of JJ Luna, and doesn't look like that tower's going to be going down.
Yeah, they are still in a lot of trouble, though. It was so much gold given over to the Jarvan, to the Camille, and the ultimate coming out from the Maokai as they're going to get onto Dinosaur Chainsaw. The ultimate in return will do a lot of damage, but not enough to kill. Elucidator's Light was down there. Scorpio flew in as well to make sure that Ruko would survive. But now Buddha, with the good back timer, has a chance here. Dinosaur Chainsaw goes in a little too close, and now Bubs wants to lead the charge. They want to get more out of this, but it looks like they're just going to back off, try to get the second Drake, because Dinosaur Chainsaw is forced to back. The low health Ruko healing up from the campfire, and now Buddha and Elucidator's Light, they want to get in there. The Rumble ultimate is down. The Jarvan ultimate is down. Misfortune is not even close. This is a 4v2. This is not something that you want to take if you're a Team Ambition Fear. About 1,200 onto the Dragon. It'll be secured by Ruko, and now they're going to try to get on top of Buddha. Ruko wants to get more, but they decide they don't want to overchase. A nice Dragon secure there from Lit Esports Blue in a game where things haven't exactly gone their way early.
Yeah. Their Elucidators and Buddha should have just shoved in bot lane, I think, to the tower as quickly as they possibly could to try to get the lane reset for Alistair and Chainsaw when they come back, because now it's just pushing away from them, and now Alistair needs to walk into Bubs and Banks, and I believe Bubs just exhausted Alistair, who's dead now. So that's what happens. I don't know why they even tried to contest that Drake. There was no even need to steal it because it's Cloud, and now another fight in the bot lane.
Yeah, this could be a problem for Ruko here. As long as Dinosaur Chainsaw can get around that minion, the hook does not land. Twisted advance onto him. Is it going to be enough? Ruko burning away. Bubs somehow still alive. And now they're looking for the turn. Bubs barely dodging out that E. And over in the mid lane, Elucidator's Light was able to get a solo kill after a nice little scrap in the bot lane, yielding nothing. Back up in the top lane, a nice dodge with the Hextech Ultimatum. Severe able to walk it out, probably waiting for those cooldowns to come back up. They do have a level lead. JJ Luna is fairly low, but will back off.
Yeah, JJ Luna can't walk up here. One more Q and Q2 from Severe will surely get a kill there if Counter-Strike is not up. So Severe will just sit back, let JJ Luna back. There's no TP available. Severe will get a couple more waves of CS. Alistair will get a plate for himself in this bot lane. No towers taken just yet, despite quite a few being low. And now Alistair in trouble again, man.
Ow, 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 ow. That's what happens when a Lucian gets Gale Force. The fadeaway Ardent Blaze out of the Lucian, and Bubs able to go 2-1-1. And that's going to be a big loss there for Alistair. That's what happens when you're playing an immobile champion against the Lucian. You have no summoners. You have no life.
They had a great start, but Alistair just keeps getting caught when Dinosaur Chainsaw is somewhere else. Earlier, it was when he was topside on that Rift Herald. This time, it's just because he didn't wait for him to come back. And now, potential fight in the bot lane.
Yeah, Bubs is going to try to kite this one out. Banks is level 7, taking a little bit of damage. It looks like that is the target. Banks able to knock everybody away. Emilio's Q is so strong sometimes because it's not a huge knockback, but as they said when they created this champion, they wanted him to be annoying, and getting hit by that thing is friggin' annoying, man.
Yeah, Riot is very good at making annoying champions. That is for sure. I mean, Yuumi is already in the game. Severe backing off, dodges the Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it was a nice wait. This is A lot of skill being displayed here by this Camille. Has about a 10 CS lead right now. Still down in terms of kills,
Oh,
but
and Alistair's dying
dude,
in the bot lane
oh
again.
no, bro. That kind of
Man, I can't
stinky.
tell if it's a sub diff or an AD diff at this point, if I'm honest. Dinosaur Chainsaw is just on the opposite side of the map every time Alistair dies, and it's not looking good for this bot lane. Now Lucian is just
Oh, Buddha.
getting damage, and
Buddha.
now...
Buddha, what are you
Oh,
doing, man?
Buddha.
He gets taunted up. He's gonna go back in. They're
Okay.
gonna try to turn on to JJ Luna. Here comes Galio. Gets the knock up onto Buddha. Severe trying to find the kill. It's Buddha that gets it, but Elucidator's light burning Ruko away, and the chase is on. Do they have the taser? They do. They get the slow, but now Bubs is here as they look for a re-engagement out of Lit Esports, chasing down the Nautilus. But it looks like they're going to turn onto the Rift Herald for right now. No jungler for the side of Team Ambition Fear means it will be the Rift Herald going over to Lit Esports Blue. And that gives them an opportunity for a big infusion of gold when they need it the most, down about 3K.
And if I'm TA Fear, I'm wanting to trade this Drake for sure. I know it says we have Cloud Drake. That is not the Drake that's coming up. I'm not sure what's up
Hextech,
next, if
baby.
I'm honest. Is it Hextech? Okay. So we have
Yeah.
Hextech Drake coming up. Hextech's
It's a great
really,
Drake.
really good. Yeah, it's great for both teams, but you definitely want it if you're TA Fear. They need to get set up around this. This is not great positioning, if I'm honest, in the middle. Like it may look like they have a flank, but they really don't. Bubs just dashes backwards, banks throws a Q forward. Scorpio doesn't have the ultimate for this upcoming fight, neither does Ruko. But Bubs and Banks do. They are the main damage dealers coming into this next fight. JJ Luna's top side, no TP. Realistically, this should be a TA Fear Drake. However, they are starting to kind of give up some prio around it here. Ruko's going to be coming around in just a second. His ult may be up for this upcoming Drake as well. We have 8 seconds left on the timer. No real pressure coming out either, and they don't even have Rift Herald. So if they even do start this Drake, we should be seeing Lit Esports drop that Rift Herald in return.
Oh, here comes the Camille teleport because they really want to get this done. JJ Luna does have teleport available, but did walk all the way down. Ruko is getting pinched now and is in a lot of trouble with the Hextech ultimatum. Lots of damage coming down, but the culling is landing on so many targets. Alistar, with a chance to set his feet, is going to spread the fight apart. And down goes the Galio, and the rest of Lit Esports is forced off, and the Dragon is secured by Team Ambition Fear.
A great TP from Severe. Very good map awareness to get into that little cheeky alcove, if you want to call it that little corner behind the turret, able to get right onto Ruko, using that ultimate, force out his ult, and they just burn him down, secure themselves a free Drake. Alistair absolutely getting burned down by Bubs, and now he's going to get dove.
JJ Luna! Bro, was only worth 176 gold, man, and now could be in a little bit of trouble. Trying to get over to the wall. They are. They break the ankles of Buddha. Are they able to get the stun off? No, it went off a little too early. But Luna able to hop to Banks. But now the ultimate goes down. Looks like they will be able to find a way out. JJ Luna relying on his teammates to bail him out. Very, very impressive stuff. Severe able to pick up that solo turret gold in the top lane. That means that the lead for Team Ambition Fear increases to about 4,000. And you can see that some of these members are getting strong.
Yeah, a good dive by Alistair. Was it necessary? Not really, because Severe just gets a tower up top. But now,
Severe?
he may just be getting jumped on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's no way Severe's getting out of this.
No.
The CC lock of doom. My guy took his hands off the keyboard. Could have made a pot of coffee as well. And down he goes. Is a big kill going over to the side of Lit Esports as they look to try to find their way back into it. It doesn't feel like they're out of it yet, but a gold deficit is going to get worse and worse and mean much more as the game goes on. Because guess what? It's back to 4K.
Yeah, and not only that, but Elucidator's Light just gets scarier as this game goes on. Both teams just want to fight in a phone booth. Nobody really wants to be at range except for Alistair for his ultimate, right? No, everybody's fighting in each other's face. Elucidator's Light throws an ult down on top of Buddha's ult, on top of Severe's ult. It's over. He is going to burn them away. He's 3-0-3, has Leandries, has Rylai's, probably go Shadow Flame next, or not even Shadow Flame, Demonic, excuse me, for Jax, Maokai, Galio, just wants to do % health damage, essentially at this point, just so he can actually have someone on the team that can kill these tanks, because right now, Severe's not going to cut it with the way that he keeps getting caught out. Buddha has gone Radiant Virtue with Sunfire, so he's not going the Eclipse build, so he's not going to be shutting through these tanks. You have Alistair to depend on, who has just the Kraken Slayer right now, but he is so far behind Bubs right now, who's sitting on 2 items, and Alistair is not looking too reliable as a carry at the moment. Tower mid is not going to go down. Very nice stop, sitting at about, I would imagine that's double digit, maybe triple digit HP on that tower.
Might be less.
It might even be 82. Okay, so that is very, very close.
Is 82 a Gentle Breeze territory?
Right now, it's not if you don't have a minion wave. That's still got to be like 3 auto attacks. I would say 3 maybe.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I just like what's the point when a turret falls in a Gentle Breeze, and like what's above a Gentle Breeze? Like I don't know, like a fairly stiff wind, I guess.
Yeah, a gust.
Oh yes, a gust.
Wind, I guess.
Well, so, hold on. Gust only does 40 damage, man.
Gust shut up.
Listen, I know my Pokemon.
I hated that.
Gust only does 40 damage, and it was a normal type.
Severe's getting dragged down in the top lane by JJ Luna right now.
Oh yeah, things ain't going so hot. Severe is severely dead. But Buddha over the wall, going to engage onto JJ Luna, has some teammates there. JJ Luna is really tough to take down right now, but they want to take down this Jax. The teleport getting committed from Elucidator's Light. Buddha continuing to push forward. Ultimate goes down. The Equalizer dealing a lot of damage, but Ruko now wants to find the engagement. 2 members rooted, and the re-engagement is here. The bullet time is trying to rip them apart, but it's not enough damage. The knock-up, and down goes Buddha very shortly. They're going to flash away, but fall. It's a double kill for Bubs, and the onslaught continues. Dinosaur Chainsaw in some trouble, but the chase is on to Alistar, and they have no HP remaining, and it's a triple kill for Bubs. They're looking for the quadra kill. They're diving this turret. I don't know if it's enough. Severe has respawned and is now teleporting back. Ruko flashes over the wall, but the hook shot from Camille will follow you right over. It's a 3v1. Is Severe able to get one? They find one. Can they kill Bubs? Bubs lives, gets pulled in, dashes away. Unofficial pentakill for Bubs.
Is there a particular reason why Severe started walking after Maokai instead of just hitting Bubs with his Q? Like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm angry now. Like, he could have just killed him. He could have just killed Bubs instead. He's chasing down Ruko, who's not worth any gold. Oh my god, Bubs is popping off now. 8-1 and 2. He has so much gold and damage now. It's gonna be really, really hard. Like, they're still behind in gold. They're gonna get this Drake, right? But Bubs is gonna do so much damage now. 8-1. He went from 3-1 to 8-1 off of one fight, because nobody knows who to go after. Oh, and now another fight around this Drake.
Are they gonna learn who to go after? Elucidator's Light rooted up. Buddha, though, the man left behind. Bubs getting kill number 9, second in the league in kills per game. 0.8 behind Alistair. I'd imagine that stat's gonna change after this game.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's going to be a big stat change. They're going to have to rewrite the stat pages for them. They can absolutely do it now because they just gifted Bubs 2 more items, or at least 2 components of an item on top of the 2 items he already has. This is a free Baron. It's going to be uncontested completely. Bubs is just going to burn it down. 4 people gonna have this, and then JJ Luna just back, so he's gonna have it as well. He's right down in the bot lane already. He's looking for this bot lane tower. They're probably gonna push in Elucidator's Light. They could even dive Elucidator's Light here. Scorpio has the ultimate available, as does Ruko. This tower, to them, is essentially a gust of damage to go down, but it doesn't look like they're gonna push it in, and that's surprising to me.
Yeah, it looks like Bubs wanted to take it back there. They are gonna pick up their 3rd item. And Fury, this has become a banger right now, and you talked about it. The dive potential here from Lit Esports is very strong, and that is something that we talked about in the draft. Ruko, Scorpio, able to do a lot, and JJ Luna even as a dive buddy. And now there's a lot of gold they're going to pick up on the map. JJ Luna pushing forward, but he can't quite win the fights right yet. Let's see if they're able to turn this around. The flash gets burnt, but not able to land the stun. And now Alistair is in the area. They're going to have to try to get away. The Make It Rain goes down, but JJ Luna will live to fight another day. And really, when Baron's up, that's kind of what you have to do, right? Because you know that top turret's going to fall. It's an inevitability.
Yeah, they send 3 bot for JJ Luna though. No one can get behind him. They can't kill him. Severe's at a position where he can still 1v1 if he gets a good outplay, dodging counter strike with the grapple. But the way JJ Luna's playing, he's just popping off right now. Got a couple really good shutdowns in the top lane. Got a good couple solo kills. Brought himself back into the game. Has 2.5 items plus the Ninja Tab Eyes to the 2 and about, let's say, a third items to Severe with the Ninja Tab Eyes. But that Bork, the Divine Sunderer, really doing work right now. Radiant Virtue on Ruko is going to help so much when going into these fights. Scorpio is 0-5, but when you're Galio, you don't really need that. You just push R on whoever goes in, and then you get a taunt off, and you're fine. Bubs actually just took quite a bit of damage from that double up from Alistair.
It still hurts.
Yeah, Alistair's
still
still
hurts.
a little bit scary. 3 and 6, but has 2 and a third of his items built out here. Has a red buff right now, so we'll be able to clear out these minions. But it's getting harder and harder for TA to play this game because now, well, they were at a deficit in terms of gold, but it's about even at this point. But they need to play the fights correctly. They need to play them front to back. They keep looking for these weird flanks, and they're leaving Alistair wide open. Elucidator's light is getting focused down, so he can't really throw out his ultimates in good positions. And Lit Esports are just clawing themselves back into this game.
Yeah, the good news for Team Ambition here is that because they took those 2 dragons, that does mean that they are afforded a little bit more time to scale. Lucian's got like okay scaling, but I expect the Misfortune to scale a lot harder as the game goes on, as well as the Rumble. And, you know, you don't really see that on the other side outside of JJ Luna, but this game is still incredibly competitive, Fury. And this next dragon is going to tell us a lot. You have to remember, you get a lot of stats with these Hextech Drakes. You get the cooldown reduction, you get the attack speed, which I'm sure you know that Alistair loves. And of course, because the Misfortune auto attack build has become the most popular build once again, benefits so much from that attack speed.
It really does, and not only that, but Camille is going to benefit a lot from the cooldowns as well.
Oh, yeah.
That Q is going to be up a lot more. You could, like after third items finish, you're going to be seeing a lot of damage getting pumped out of Severe. Those hook shots are going to be coming out a lot to dodge the JJ Luna counter strikes. You really want this on Buddha because Buddha essentially wants that Cataclysm up as much as possible to stack on Elucidator's Light ult, to stack up Alistair's ult. So if they can get this, they're looking pretty solid. Like right now, JJ Luna did just have to back. The TP is available, however, and the rest of Lit Esports are moving their way through the jungle now. Scorpio and Alistair with Elucidator's Light just kind of in a back and forth trying to clear out this mid wave for a little bit of positioning. But right now, it is just kind of a 5-on-5 run at each other. JJ Luna's TPing way behind right now, though, for a flank.
Oh, the deep flank, and Ruko is going to drop the ultimate down. Galio is going to show up, not going to be able to knock up anybody, and the ultimate and the choke causing a lot of problems. Bubs still high on HP, but Banks has fallen. Scorpio is golden in the middle of the team. Bubs needs to run this fighting quick, but Severe cuts him off, and he's got to go golden, and this has become a pretty big problem. Bubs burns away, and Severe is full HP against Ruko and JJ Luna, and now you just got to let him cook. He's going to find JJ Luna for the double, make it a triple as he takes down Ruko, and Severe comes up huge.
And that is exactly what I was talking about with that, Camila. Did you see the damage Q2 did to Ruko, of all people? Took him about half health after Q and then Q2. Looking really good, played as well as he possibly could have because Alistair immediately got dropped by JJ Luna. A great TP flank from Luna. Really good situational awareness as to where to come in. I thought maybe he was coming a little bit far away because the fight did happen probably a lot quicker than they thought it was going to come out into, but still managed to get in, killed a very key target because Alistair didn't even get to ult. But everyone else, Elucidator's Light with a great ultimate into the choke on top of Buddha, and Severe positioning themselves perfectly on the opposite side of where all the damage was to be able to take out the tanks, move on to JJ Luna with the help of Dinosaur Chainsaw. They secured the third Hextech Drake. That's going to put them on point. And now, with this Baron coming up, they have some pretty good tempo going into this. They were all able to take a back. They've all purchased now 3 items on Alistair. You see that BT picked up with the IE, with the Kraken Slayer. Obviously, you want to be able to see that use going into the next fight and not get one shot by the Jax. But this next fight is looking very good for TA Fear.
Yeah, and that last fight was so crazy. And I thought it was pretty interesting that Lit Esports, they gave away their positioning to take their backs. And that was really their downfall because it allowed Team Ambition to get there first and have zone control with Elucidator's Light. I mean, Bubs did everything he could to avoid the equalizer, did it so well, and when it was time to go, Severe had just snuffed him out, knew immediately what was happening. A game-saving fight out of that Camille. I don't think we've given him enough credit, and we've put heaps of praise on him.
Yeah, no, it was a very, very good fight. I love Camille as a champion just in general. Like, she is a relatively hard champion with a very high skill ceiling. Like, you can definitely tell the difference between Severe on Camille and even someone in, like, high plat, mid, high diamond. Than you'd see on Severe popping off here. They're moving on to this Baron, and now we just saw in the bot lane, that was a full health tier 2 tower that Severe basically one-shot. So even if he decides to split push, they need to send 2 people after him to stop him because JJ Luna's not going to do it, and a fight opens up on this Baron.
Oh, here comes that engagement, but another nice equalizer splits the fight up, causing a lot of problems. Bubs trying to survive on the backside. 80 carries, trade kills. Ruko's the next target. It's a big knock-up onto Bubs, causing a lot of problems. Bubs trying to kite it out, but the rest of the damage is not there. Team Ambition Fear have the damage, and they have eclipsed Lit Esports Blue. Alistair is online. Elucidator's Light is putting in work. And you found the carry in Camille, but there were 2 more waiting in the wings. And Baron goes to Team Ambition.
Yeah, Severe hits the God number there. 666 on the KDA. Definitely intentional. But Severe played that very well. Ulted into the line and basically stopped 3 people from getting into the front line, and which allowed Buddha, Elucidator's Light, and Alistair to actually get full channels off of their ultimates. Severe ends up dying for it, but it's mainly because he was so deep that his team couldn't get to him. So a worthy sacrifice, if you want to call it that, for sure. JJ Luna does get a decent amount of gold off of that kill, but Misfortune able to get a triple kill after Severe's triple kill on the bot side. They say, hey, I died early last time. It's time for you to die and allow me to get a couple kills. They get the Baron. Now it's kind of just up to TA Fear to lose this game, right? They're 5k gold ahead, 3 Drakes to 2. The next Drake up in about a minute and a half now. If they get the positioning right this time, they should be able to take the fight. I really don't think that at this point, Lit Esports has enough damage to take on these fights. Dinosaur Chainsaw is very tanky. Buddha is very tanky, and Bubs and JJ Luna, I mean, they don't have AoE damage. It is single target damage in both of them, and you were talking about Scorpio having quite a bit of damage, but he's 1 in 7, 2 items. One of those is an Everfrost. One of them is a Zonius. He doesn't really have AP damage, despite being solo AP. Ruko is going full tank, so there's really no AP damage on that side of the team, and I don't know how the next team fight's going to go out, but if I had to put money on it, I would put it on TA Fear.
I gotta say, I was pretty surprised he did not go the Night Harvester build, given the fact that he was the only major AP threat. I understand why Ruko went a little bit more defensive. There are not as many tanks on the side of Team Ambition Fear, despite the fact that they're a little thick over on that side. They aren't true tanks, so it makes sense, but life has just gotten really, really hard for Lit Esports, and you have to imagine there are a lot of nervous stomachs on that team right now. They feel they probably had the game in their hands at one point, and here's the engagement from Bubs. Bubs getting knocked up, bullet time ripping members apart. Here's the culling on the backside. There's a lot of teleports coming in, ultimate coming down, and that means Ruko is going to fall. Alistair on a rampage, and they've caught Bubs and the Guardian Angel. Everybody surrounding him. He can't take down Alistair, and everybody on Lit Esports crumbles like paper as the push is on here for TA Fear.
Yeah, this should at least be an inhib and then move back into the Hextech Drake. They could potentially look to end. Scorpio is trying to stop the wave, but they have 2 minions. And that's just not going to stop it. Jax has back.
Oh my God.
Trying to stop the push. I don't know if he's going to be able to. A big counter strike.
Yeah, he is going to be able to land it. Are they going to be able to get more kills? Oh my god, the Jax gets blown up. Severe is just doing too much damage.
GG.
And that will be it. Team Ambition Fear. It looked a little shaky in the mid game, but they were able to close this one out and take game 1 of the series.
Yeah, very, very smart play there at the end, recognizing that they had 2 Baron empowered minions to push through to end the game. JJ Luna was just trying to split push. I mean, you could say he could have backed sooner, but I don't think it would have changed much, honestly. No. The way that TA Foot was just running down the mid lane there, they were set to kill. They were looking to end for sure, regardless of how that last fight played out. Severe really came into it at the end, and Misfortune, Alistair, despite being behind a lot in the early to mid game, really showed up, came back with the help of his team, had the front line that he needed. They looked very clean that game.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive stuff, and it just feels like that one moment Lit Esports had the opportunity, and they backed at Soul Point Drake. They greeted their back. There was 20 seconds left before that dragon spawned, and that's all that Team Ambition needed to spell doom for them. A very well executed game by Team Ambition, despite all of the early issues. And honestly, what a banger of a game, Fury. Both of these teams fighting back and forth, gold dead even at about 28 minutes. And that's really all that we ask out of these master tier level games and Blue Water League Master, are really competitive games down to the wire. But because we get competitive games like that, it does mean that we need to take a little bit of break to decompress and for the teams to come up with a draft strategy. So we're going to take a very short break. And when we return, we'll give you the draft for Game 2 between Team Ambition Fear and Lit Esports Blue. Well, welcome back, Blue Otter League family, as we are into the draft here for Game 2 between Lit Esports Blue and Team Ambition Fear. Yanni and Fury still on the call for you. The teams have switched sides, and Lit Esports in their comfort zone of Blue side. Not too many changes so far in the draft, but there have been a couple of bans at the very least. Now the Rumble getting taken away instead of the Gragas, the Lucian instead of the Caitlyn, and yet we still see Jarvan first picked.
Makes sense. Looked really good in the last game. I just hope Lit Blue actually drafts some damage to go into this game besides just their AD carry. TA Fear said you're gonna leave up Gragas question mark and instantly hover it here. I would say that's a great pickup. Really good counter in the J4.
Yeah, not only that, there is flexibility. So if they decide that, oh, we like this matchup better off somewhere else, they just get to, throw it up in the top lane or even in the mid lane. Hell, you could even play Gragas support. It was popular for a time, not so much this season, but it is still a thing that you can do if you are TA Fear. And that means the draft is full of possibilities for you. I mean, I like what they had last time out of the Camille. It is on the table. That Rakan is going to get picked up. Zaya was left open this game very suspiciously.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that. Lit Blue kind of have to take it here, right? They really, I would imagine, don't want to see Zaya Rakan in the bot lane. Rakan's a great pickup on his own, if I'm honest. He's getting a lot more play without the Zaya. There it is. But it's just so potent. Like, it's so impossible to kill that guy that it's just a great pickup for support. Lit Blue have to pick up Zaya. They grab the Galio again. I mean, it makes sense, J4 Galio together, but I don't know. So far I'm liking TA Fear. It really depends on what they pick up for ADC.
You gotta wash the sins. You gotta wash the sins of the past away.
Do I?
I can tell. You were like, you were really thinking like, man, based off that last game, I don't know. Nah, man, you gotta let them flex with the Galio, especially with the Jarvan available. As you mentioned, it just makes sense. Tristana going to be the pickup for Team Ambition Fear here. Another flex, especially into the Galio. I actually kind of expect to see this in the mid lane.
I was going to say the same thing. This could easily be Gragas jungle top, but I do think it's going to be Tristana mid lane. Both of them obviously flex picks, but I do like Tristana mid, especially against Galio. It's really hard for him to get on top of her, and even if he does, she has ultimate and just says, get away from me. A lot of damage comes out. She can push waves just about as fast, if not faster than him, depending on the wave state. Lit Blue are banning out some mid laners now, so TA Fear could say, hey, go ahead and ban out mid laners. We're going to throw this Tristana mid, and the Camille comes out for the ban there.
Yeah, and that's well recognized by Lit Blue. You naturally expect that when you pick Galio and you see a Tristana on the other end. It's not too surprising, but it does mean they've done their homework. They just want to make sure they don't get burnt in any other ways. A nice ban of the Poppy there. I thought that would have been a really nice pickup for Team Ambition Fear. If it is in the playbook for them, but that will be off the table. Now it's up to Team Ambition Fear on what they want to do. Still, so many picks available, not as many top laners. That Jax is available if they want to, turn it around here on Lit Esports and, just say, hey, you get to play into it now. But it does look like that Kai'Sa is going to be selected. So Team Ambition Fear, they are looking to dive.
It's kind of weird that TA Fear picked Kai'Sa because they just kind of give away the whatever.
Go on.
I don't understand why you're gonna pick Tristana, which is a potential flex pick, and then pick Kai'Sa, and it's like, okay, it's just Tristana mid now. You
that's
could have
fine.
hid that for the but they should have saved ADC for last.
Well, here's the thing though. It's because they banned the Lissandra, right? Lit knows that that's going to be a Tristana mid. They are 100% sure at that point if you're going to burn the ban on it, and it doesn't mean that you get to give your top laner or jungler counter pick. It's likely going to be a Gragas jungle because they're leaving the counter pick open for their top laner. But listen, anything can happen at this point. I do like the Nautilus pickup though, because Tristana and Kai'Sa don't tend to do well against the Nautilus. Tristana has to rocket jump out and is still going to get knocked up. Is going to be a million miles away from the fight. Kai'Sa, you get knocked up on the back line. It's a big problem. We're going to see Garen, the Moose Hater special, picked up here for Lit Blue, going up to JJ Luna.
They did it again, man. Lit Blue just says, we don't want to do damage, and we definitely don't want range. So we're going to go 4 melees and Xayah. So good luck to them going into game number 2. TA Fear drafting full damage so far. See what they grab for the quote-unquote top lane. Olaf getting picked up here. Still technically 4 flexes. Gragas can go mid jungle top. Tristana can go mid bot lane. Technically still can go top. Olaf can go jungle top. Kai'Sa can go ADC or mid. Kai'Sa mid is kind of a thing. People have been playing her now that the Nashor's Tooth rework has come back in, or the Nashor's Tooth revert, I should say, has come through. So it is still a strong pickup. But man, if you're showing me these 2 drafts, I'm going TA Fear the whole time.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The Garen is probably not a flex.
No, definitely not. Unless it's Garen jungle.
And on the team with all flexes, the Rakan is definitely not a flex.
Rakan mid AP, baby.
Listen,
you go Luden Zeko full burst.
I actually have seen Rakan mid played at the mid diamond level in a league by this guy named Aliskander, and I laughed at it, and he hard carried the game.
It's disgusting.
But I don't know at that point, right? Because then you got a lot of different moving parts going on. And Team Ambition Fear composition, it's got a little bit of pick potential with Gragas and Rakan, but the rest of it's just not there. But it does seem like they're able to turn around and pump out damage. And, you know, if Lit Esports Blue engages on them, they've got some interesting counter engage options, especially with the Gragas cask.
Yeah, TA Fear has so much disengage, so much engage, counter engage. They have everything they could ever want out of this draft, honestly. Knock back from Gragas, knock up for Rakan, knock back from Tristana, J4 ults, and then what? Gragas just throws a cask on top of it, and he's out of it. And I mean, everybody's still locked in the Cataclysm, but there's no more imminent threat. Xayah, her ultimate this game kind of has to be used offensively, or else there's just no damage if she's using it defensively, because what else do you have? Lit Blue goes in, there's no disengage from them except for the Xayah ult if she tries to get out of that fight. If she's using it that way, then Lit Blue's already lost the fight. TA Fear, I think, have a very solid draft. It's very well-rounded. Not a whole lot of tanks, but I don't think that matters because Lit Esports Blue doesn't have enough damage to warrant needing a tank and really big frontline.
Yeah, you know, that does make a lot of sense. And you know, the question, and as you mentioned with the Xayah, you know, using that defensively, you know, it's okay, but it's not great. But if you're using the Blade Caller offensively, you know, that is pretty great, especially into that team. They're also squishy though, right? So if Tristana, Kai'Sa, and Rakan are not paying attention, she can call back those feathers and just slice through them like tissue paper.
Oh yeah.
It could cause a lot of problems. It's really, can the damage of TA Fear overload the tanks of Lit Esports Blue, and can the engage of Lit Esports Blue survive through the disengage of Team Ambition Fear and the counter engage that they have through that Gragas and Rakan? Those are the most important questions to ask here.
Yeah, I mean, and one big thing I want to see in this game, Ruko did it extraordinarily well in the last one. The early gank won the Maokai, secured a couple kills in the top lane. I want to see this again. He's on J4 this time. A lot easier to gank, as easy as he made it look in the last game. It is a lot easier to gank with J4 level 2, level 3. I want to see that. I want to see it not mid, because Tristana's going to have jump and she's going to be able to get away. I want to see it top. I want to see it bot lane. I want to see Xayah and Nautilus get ahead early, because you need your carry to have damage. Garen could probably fight Gragas early. Post 6 is going to be a little bit hard because Gragas is going to have some innate tankiness built into his kit. He's going to have quite a bit of poke with the Q. Garen rushes at him, he just kind of dashes away. So I want to see them get the bot lane ahead early and then start working his way up to the top lane. Ruko, I think, could have a very, very good time in this game. I just need to see them use it. Play a pick comp, essentially, with Xayah and Nautilus.
Yeah, and they're going to have to, and Ruko is going to have a good time. Lit Esports Blue in Game 1, let an opportunity slip through their fingers and let TA Fear take a 1-0 series lead as we are into the spectator delay here for Game 2. Team Ambition Fear looking to cap off their first win in about 3, almost 4 weeks, and Lit Esports Blue looking to force a Game 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on Summoner's Rift here at Blue Water League Masters Game 2 between Lit Esports Blue and Team Ambition Fear. Team Ambition Fear, it's been a while since they've won their last game, all right? Like, we talked about it already a little bit. They really got to get this dub here to keep themselves in it. They've put themselves in a prime position to take advantage.
Yeah, if they need a dub, this is definitely the draft to do it on. Buddha gonna get spotted out. Banks to go for a flash Q, deciding not to do so. Wants to hold it. Decent invade there. We finally see an invade, Yanni. Nothing
Yeah, I was
comes
thinking
of
the
it.
same thing,
We
bro.
finally see it.
And then nothing happens.
Nothing happened.
I'm so surprised.
I thought Dinosaur Chainsaw surely was gonna get caught out there. I'm also surprised. I thought Banks was gonna flash Q. Try to at least get the flash out of Buddha. I think it would have been worth it if I'm honest, but I understand the reasoning behind holding it. The only thing is, I really wish that they would have done it because they need an early advantage. Truly, I've decided that if Lit Esports win this game, I'm gonna get 5 subs just because I want them to win, man. Looking at this draft, I want them to win. I do not think they will. However, if they do, I will eat my own words and I will give 5 subs. That is just the way I'm going to play this. But the way it's looking right now, I'm fully expecting Elucidators to be pushed in under tower all game, just blowing it up as a Tristana does. And then Gragas to kind of just get free farm and then not really be able to get jumped on by Luna. Kaiser Rakan, that could be dangerous. Bubs and Banks could look to get a couple early fights off, get themselves a nice little lead. It looks like Ruko is pathing bot lane. I love it. However, he's going to get spotted on Tribrush.
Yeah, it's sad, bro. Finally, we saw it. But, I mean, it's to be expected at that point, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
You know that most Jarvans are going to end up doing that. It's well warded. You had scouted it out earlier. They even pinged when they knew that the red buff was going to go down. So they just know exactly where Ruko is. They're essentially playing perfect information, which means that you get to slow the pace of the game down a little bit. When there's a Jarvan on the other team, you are so happy with that, especially when you have 280 carries.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be able to buff up that movement speed, right? And try to help take down towers, get kills. But you're right. They get spotted on a Tribrush. If you're not warding Tribrush against a Rakan, against a J4, then what do you do? And I said Rakan because Rakan went in.
Oh my god! Wow! First blood going over to Alistair. He just walks up, kills Bubs, explains nothing, and walks away.
I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought Bubs was going to get out on a sliver of health. Was not even able to push the heal button there. And Alistair with a very nice first blood there. And Bubs is now not going to get that cannon minion either. They got a nice push out of that.
Oof. That's all. It just
that's it. Just big oof.
Yeah, that's not great. That's rough, you know. Yeah. And that's a pretty big lead for Alistair. So Flash is down on the 80 carries, but the pickaxe picked up here for Alistair. That's a large damage difference. You know, I think most players can do math. We're not getting into any last shadow math or anything like that, or when to buy Oblivion Orb. Pickaxe greater than dagger. Controversial statement, I know.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that there. And also, Alistair, you know, he started Longsword 3 pots, didn't even use a pot. He got a kill, backed, and still is going to come back with those in his kit. So he'll still be pretty healthy coming back into lane. Bubs has pushed out that wave. Alistair now under tower, going to hold his lead CS-wise. But Buddha running around the map now.
He's just chilling.
Trying to look for trying to find Ruko in his jungle, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, and the thing is, Buddha doesn't even need to really do anything right now, right? No. He can just kind of chill out and wait. You know, the onus is on Ruko to make a move because he is the early game jungler. And you can already see some CS leads being built up. The hook does not quite land. Banks and Bubs just, it looks like they're getting toyed with here for, at least for right now. Did you see Ruko showing up to the bot side? Buddha is on the bottom side as well, taking care of that Gromp. And Ruko has gotten in and has not been spotted yet. This is an opportunity for Banks and Bubbles to get something done. And Banks now looking to get in there, taking a lot of damage. They are going to be able to root up Dinosaur Chainsaw. Buddha is here, splitting Banks apart. The knockup lands. The Blade Caller can't quite get the kill. Ruko flashes forward and is not able to take out the Rakan. And that means Alistair is able to get in there and is able to find a kill. Buddha taking the other one. They turn the gank around, a 2-0 for Team Ambition Fair.
I really like that they gave that kill over to Buddha there for, coming down to the bot side. He flashed. You want to have you want to have Buddha get kills early here because he is Olaf. Will kind of fall off later on in the game. So you want to get him his head as quickly as you possibly can, especially if it's pre-6. A very nice counter game comes out, but severe. Good at night. The ignite with the ultimate will get the kill. Lucidor's light.
Oh no!
Oh, Scorpio. Try to predict the dash.
No. Oh, close. Don't really know how Scorpio was able to get an advantage on Elucidator's light there, but managed to do so. Burns their flash. It's a flash for flash overall. This game eerily similar to the last one with JJ Luna just getting a kill up in the top lane. Now the big question is, how is JJ Luna going to throw their lead?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? I don't know that he'll really throw a lead. I hope he doesn't anyway. I'm hoping he holds on to it and plays it safe. Like even in the last game, he was ahead early, got solo killed. I don't think that's gonna happen this time. Gragas not quite Camille with the damage output and the gap closing. Can definitely still win a fight now that Ignite and Ultimate are down from Luna, but I don't foresee it happening. Is Buddha going to catch out Ruko there? Ruko did manage to steal the Scuttle Crab there, though. So overall, a nice win for him.
Yeah, and things are just coming up Team Ambition Fear right now. And life is good if you are Team Ambition Fear. Up about 1,500 right now. You've got the advantage in the mid lane. You've got the advantage in the bot lane. This does mean that you can take this Mountain Drake, get a little bit of extra resistances, which everybody is really happy with. Yeah, it's not as sexy as an Infernal Drake or anything like that. But hey, free stats are free stats, especially when you don't give up anything to get them. So Team Ambition Fear really just looking like a brand new team this week.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with that. My two favorite starting Drakes in order are Infernal Drake and then Mountain. Especially when you're on a team that isn't super tanky, won't really be building tanky. You want those stats early game here to even further negate the damage that's on the enemy team, especially when you're already ahead. So now you are kind of a half item ahead when it comes to just stats in your kit right now. They're looking really solid, and like you said, TA Fear look really clean coming into this game, and especially against one of the number one teams, a 5-1 team. There's only 2 of them right now, but this is the team to beat at the moment, and if they're able to take them out, they almost guarantee a spot for themselves in playoffs.
Yeah, that would be really big for them. As we're getting later and later into the season right now, what we have, you said 2 weeks after this.
Yeah,
so
week 9.
Yeah, we're getting around to the part where you can't really afford to make any mistakes, and Lit can take the loss here for sure. You don't necessarily want to, though, right? Especially to a team that's lost 3 straight. It's not really going to do wonders for your confidence, right? You're going to start having a lot of questions. Whereas TA Fear, this game means so much more for them, not only to stay in it, but because they would take out a top team in the league. That could certainly just do so much for them in these last couple of weeks in the season. We did see Ruko heading toward the bottom side. Doesn't want to push up any further. They had a feeling that it was warded as both teams pinged out the wards. They knew something was up. And everybody's just going to take it back here as the game kind of just chilling out, although Buddha looking to push the pace a little bit. They're going to pick up this Rift Herald. But other than that, all has been quiet, especially out of JJ Luna and Severe's lane, which it was anything but quiet in game 1.
Yeah, it is a little bit more tame. I mean, obviously, if JJ Luna sees the look, I'm sure he'll jump right on him. Has Ignite, has Flash, has Ultimate, so JJ Luna could easily look for a fight. The big thing is, though, this bot lane, Alistair has Kraken Slayer pre-10, my guy. 2-0-1, 85 CS to 69, nice. Just the standard boots, no tier 2 just yet. But Banks, where's Banks going?
I don't know. My dude's trying to make a deposit, I think. It looks like he's in a little bit of trouble here. Could be caught out on the bottom side. He is very low, and he is going to fall. Alistair on a killing spree now, as Banks just kind of got caught out. And now Bubs could be in a little bit of trouble, looking to deal some damage to Alistair. Alistair has that ultimate available. They're just waiting for the feathers to fall, but the ultimate does time out, and so they weren't able to get in. You will just gladly take your kill and continue farming as normal.
Absolutely, and you saw even after that feather storm from Bubs, a couple auto attacks from Alistair takes about a third of Bubs' health away, and Bubs tries to trade back on Dinosaur Chainsaw and kind of just tickles him with his feathers. So, bot lane not going spectacularly. I really wanted to see more out of Ruko into the bot side. Both of these junglers haven't done a whole lot after their first couple of ganks. It was almost like they went bot side, they had that big skirmish, and we're like, okay, we don't really want to do that again. We'll wait a little bit, but it's not going so well for the side of Lit Esports. Top side, Severe was down a little bit in CS, but has come back, taken a small lead. That'll be negated here shortly, but we are seeing a potential lane gank here in the bot side. Let's see if anything comes of it.
The ward is still there, so ultimately it's depending on if Banks and Bubs just step up. They know that something has to be up, right? Alistair and Dinosaur Chainsaw were just there. You guys can't walk up to that. Bubs has to flash away. That means Banks also has to flash. They're going to be able to, in the dredge line, find themselves out. Ruko showing up to the party, forcing everybody off, but 2 flashes burnt out of Banks and Bubs. I'm kind of surprised they didn't see that one coming. And now Ruko, looking for the engagement on the Dinosaur Chainsaw, finds the knockup. Buddha's got a lot of damage. Alistair's not in that fight quite yet. And down goes the Rakan. But Alistair, looking to start cooking, is now on a rampage and is looking to chase down Bubs. Does land the W, but Galio shows up looking to maybe turn this around. Ruko looking for the re-engagement. Flash taunt. Knock up. Shut down. Going over to Bubs. Elucidator's light. A little late, but they might want to get in. Buddha with a big block. Buddha. Rocket everywhere. They're going to end up going down. And now it's Elucidator's light. They just got to pick up Ruko pretty much for free here. No, they have to burn the flash. Are they able to get the kill? Oh, the W shield was just enough. And Ruko manages to survive. Elucidator not coming away with another kill.
Not sure why Elucidator rocket jumped so early in that fight. Could have just hit Ruko, but nice turnaround there for Lit Esports. Really, really good catch on that Tri-Brush. Dinosaur Chainsaw unable to push R until it was too late. Ended up dying. If he got that off a little bit earlier, probably could have seen a big turnaround on there. Ultimately, nice couple kills going over to Bubs there. Good gold being ingested into Lit Esports now. It's still about a 3k gold lead for the side of TA Fear, but this at least stops the bleeding for a little bit. Rift Herald being dropped on the bottom side there.
Yeah, it just was going to expire.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to use it. And it's a great way to get at least a little bit of pressure, right? It looks like that they want to start up this dragon almost immediately. Looks like Alistair is going to try to walk it in a little bit. Bubs ready to take it out. That means the dragon does need to get started up. Vision has been cleared out. Ruko in the area. Banks also trying to fight a way in while Bubs is just beating on Shelly down there. Dragon getting pulled out of the pit down to about 3,000 HP, but Elucidator's Light is ready and waiting to teleport. They are going to teleport to the mid lane turret. No fight being taken here, and your favorite combination of Drakes have gone down at the 13.5-minute mark.
Yeah, not quite at the enhanced TP level just yet, so has to go back to mid. It was kind of weird timing there by Elucidators. I didn't like that back timer. I feel like if Ruko had gone in, if Scorpio's ultimate was up, they probably would have gone in. But a fight in the bot side.
Oh, Banks taking a lot of damage. Alistair getting knocked up. Banks is going to come out of stasis and is going to fall. And now Bubs in a lot of trouble. No summoners available. Is going to drop the ultimate down. Alistair going to flash forward. Does get rooted up, but the damage is just too strong. Alistair with a double kill.
And now Elucidator's Light having to run away from Ruko here. It looks like they could potentially go for a dive here. I don't really know if they want it, but they are going to at least zone Scorpio and Ruko off of this tower. And when you have Alistair with a Kraken Slayer, Elucidator's Light with a Kraken Slayer on this Tristana, that is just a dead tower for sure. The only thing that could have made that better if you had a Ziggs on your team.
The Krakens have been released in the form of Tristana and Kai'Sa this game. We haven't talked too much about Elucidator's Light. They had a couple of faux pas earlier in the game, but 140 CS, 1-0, 14-minute mark. You really can't complain about that, despite the fact that they might have left a little bit of meat on the bone. But your team is up, about what? It's like 4,500 gold, something like that. It's a really good start again here for TA Fear. But remember last time, TA Fear had a really good start, and Lit Esports Blue was able to come back and make it a game. They're going to have to do it again, but this time they're going to have to actually win it. You see the Rift Herald up, and Buddha hanging around the top side. Dinosaur Chainsaw looking to get some vision, clear out some vision. And they've already moved Alistair to the top side. And JJ Luna, after that early kill, hasn't been able to do too much. So Garen hasn't been able to get that accelerated just yet.
Right, yeah, besides that solo kill, which was very nice, it's kind of what I was talking about. The first couple levels, JJ Luna's going to be fine, but now he's going to jump on Alistair.
Oh, that's a big knock-up. Good job by Dinosaur Chainsaw, keeping their AD carry alive, but Dinosaur Chainsaw takes a lot on the way out. Ruko is getting run down by that Olaf. Bubs very low. They might go down soon. Severe with the cask, able to get the kill. And that is 2 more going over to the way of Team Ambition Fear. And that's going to be a turret on top of it.
And that's going to be Rift Herald going down next. It's definitely going to be a mid lane tower, I'd imagine, after this, unless they overstay their welcome.
Yeah, they're going for the re-engagement. Alistair said, hey, I want to go in. Flash belly bump isn't going to be enough. Banks is going to go down, but Severe could be in a little bit of trouble. No judgment available from the Garen, though, which means Gragas will be able to find a way out. And this game has gotten out of hand. Lit Esports Blue have just been blown away and are cowering from Team Ambition's fear.
Yeah, that was huge on that fight. Buddha able to solo kill Ruko in the back line, 2 levels ahead of him at this point. And what I was saying earlier, the point I was trying to make is that JJ Luna had a good solo kill early against Severe, but the later on you let this game go without interference from your jungler, the tankier Severe is going to get, the harder it is going to be to kill him. Now he has Leandri, he's got 294 stacks of that tier as well. Mid lane tower is going to go down. That's going to be an even bigger gold lead, 7.6k. It's really hard for Lit Esports to get back into this game. And Galio, again, going Everfrost despite being solo AP. Now, definitely solo AP. Doesn't even really have Maokai to back him up on this. Not a whole lot of damage coming out from this team.
Oof.
Oof, again.
Honestly, a lot of things when it comes to casting can just be summed up with oof. And this game has just been a big oof. And poor Bubs, really. I mean, yeah, dying that early, kind of on them, right? Poor flash timing. Outside of that, they've really tried to keep this game close. And Alistair is just so far ahead. And if Bub steps up any further, he's going to get blown up here. There's a lot of damage on Severe now. Finishing that Leandries, they have a needlessly large rod. And we all know AD carries aren't exactly the thickest type out there. Lucidator's
definitely not.
Looking to get in on JJ Luna. Lots of fights going back and forth.
It's a 1v2.
In the 2v1, man. Buddha has found his inner peace and has reached enlightenment. Able to solo kill Banks. The bank has been closed, man. Bank's been closed for a long time. It's 9:30 on the East Coast.
Yeah, Lit Esports, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you as this dragon comes up in the next 10 seconds here. Rift Herald being dropped in the bot lane again. I don't like that they're not escorting the Rift Herald. The last time they dropped it down, I don't think it got a push off. I mean, you're right, but at the same time, it's like, you can have someone escort. You have Tristana on your team, right? Just clear out the minions.
Hold on.
Push up.
I think they're calling Ruko in for the steal. They just realized that that's all you got to do, and it's secured by Elucidator's Light. I mean, honestly, what's one more kill? You have to try to make that play.
100%. You have to.
Team Ambition Fear now on soul point here at the 18 and 47 minute mark.
Yeah, you can't fault them for that. You
Banks
have to do at this point. Banks is just getting caught again.
Silicon Valley Banks has fallen. Life imitates art.
No bailouts, though.
Yeah, no bailouts there. Life imitates art. Not quite sure if Banks is FDIC insured. 0-7-1. A big loss this game for sure. Sometimes that does happen on champions like Nautilus, though, right? Your champion is designed to go in. So the bad games look really bad.
But that's the thing with the Nautilus, what we were talking about earlier with the comp. They have this all-in comp, Ruko alt, Scorpio alt, Banks goes in with the Dredge line, but then how do you get out of a fight when Alistair can dash one way and Buddha can just alt and Severe can alt and, everybody can just jump out of the fight, you don't have any re-engage either.
The answer is you don't. It's a one-way ticket for Banks.
Yeah, Banks goes in, and that's all he can do. He hits Q, he hits ultimate, and tries not to die.
And no.
He just does
Listen,
die.
you try not to die, but Banks has not been doing a great job of that. And again, it's just the nature of the champion. No hate to Banks.
No.
Really a fantastic player.
Just deaths.
Yeah, listen, fantastic player, but just a really not the greatest showing here in this game. And I don't know what happened here to Lit Esports Blue. This looks like a different team from the team that we've seen. But even in the series as a whole, Scorpio with a good double taunt, but Banks can't find a way in. The charm is there, the double knockup is there. That was the opportunity, and Ruko and Banks just go down. And yeah, that is Baron. And what a masterful game here from Team Ambition Fear. Nearly mistake-free, if I have to be honest with you. Much better than the game one. They have played fantastic, and they're well on their way to a hard-earned win, their first in 3 weeks.
Yeah, they look incredible in these 2 games, honestly. I don't know what they did to change it, or what happened, what they did, what their training regimen is. Buddha can 1v2 this, 100%.
Yeah, can Buddha 1v3 it, though?
I don't know.
No shot. The Beyblade spinning around, dealing a lot of damage. Good protection there from Scorpio. Could be an opportunity to get some back. Dinosaur Chainsaw doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Alistair trying to get close. Severe definitely wants to try to turn this fight around. Really wants to go back in. I think it's a bit ill-advised. You just take what... Oh, no, don't do it. It's too far away, first of all, but just don't do it, Alistair. It's a bad idea.
Definitely doesn't want to look for that. Oh, Scorpio wants to go in, though, and they're going to jump on a Severe. That might be a dead Gragas.
Severe gets caught, and it's a nice kill there for Lit Esports Blue. They get... Listen, the Baron gets taken by Team Ambition Fear. They got a little bit too big for their britches, and they lose the top laner and jungler.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not sure why Severe was even standing there. Just go bot lane.
It was a severe lapse in judgment.
It was a severe lapse in judgment. That is for sure. And now it's a Dinosaur Chainsaw lapse in judgment.
What are we doing? They're chain-inting.
Just keep gifting kills. Just keep walking in one by one. They're said,
gifting
hey,
kills like you're trying to gift subs, bro.
I was gonna say, they said, hey, we want to see 5 subs in chat. Let's just gift over some kills real quick. And they're walking in one by one without Alistair, without Lucid's Light in there. Those are some good shutdown that's going over. Garen gets a shutdown. Bub's got a shutdown on Buddha there. Now has Navori Quick Blades. Is kind of even the odds. I mean, obviously, 3-3-0 is not 8-1-6.
Garen's 4-1 though.
Yeah, 4-1 has Mortal Reminder as the second item, which is not ideal if you're Garen, but still 2 items.
He's scaling.
Yeah, he's scaling for sure.
But listen, hold on. Hold on. We actually have to give some respect here. That is a 4-1 Garen, and
it is.
Everybody at some point in time has had a game where they're kind of beating up the enemy team pretty bad. And the enemy team, one member gets fed. And Garen is one of those champions that can do it. So it is possible. There is an opportunity for Lit Esports to find a way back into the game. They just need to make sure that they don't go down. The only problem is 30 seconds to go on this Ocean Soul here. And I guess that's why the Mortal Reminder was picked up, because JJ Luna knows they're going to be in it for the long haul. Unless Ruko is able to make a big play, they're going to try to go in onto Buddha. But don't want to commit any further. JJ Luna is ready to commit in the middle of multiple members and is gone without a trace. And Elucidator's Light gets to the back line. Bob's ripping through everybody, but is unable to close out on kill. They finally find Elucidator's Light, but they get jumped on by Buddha, trying to kite it out, but they just run out of health. It was a nice attempt there by Lit Esports Blue, but a quadra kill coming out for Alistair. That means it is the Ocean Soul going over to Team Ambition Fear.
I don't know, man. If I'm Alistair, I'm running it down mid right there for stealing my Penta. But he is going to run it down mid and take this inhibitor while the rest of his team takes the Ocean Soul. A very nice pick immediately onto JJ Luna. You talked about him being the threat. They recognized that and immediately took advantage. Alistair, I don't know if he will actually be able to finish off this inhib, though. He will. He'll be able to take it. Gets a little bit greedy. Okay. Maybe pays for his life, but...
Nah, he's fine. Look at he's just got to turn and fight. He's got to turn and fight. All right, he's dead. He flashed. The Ignite is on. Look at the healing, though. Wait a minute. Alistair, no. You're taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's a huge shutdown for JJ Luna. 1,000 gold onto Garen. That should be a third item potentially on this back here. I think that's why he's taking an early back. I'm not sure what he's going third. Black Cleaver potentially. Yeah. Yes. Doesn't quite have it just yet though. But that looks really good for him. As long as he doesn't get caught out like he did in that last fight. But being able to get a shutdown on Alistair is big for the team. Now it just all comes down to whether or not they'll be able to do anything with it. There's still 8k cooldown. 4 Drakes. Elder is in 450. If they even do get to that point.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll get there. I mean, sure, Alistair dies. Alistair burns summoners. JJ Luna gets 1,000 gold. I don't think it's going to matter, man. It's 3.5 items on Alistair. It's, 2 big items on this Tristana. It's 3 items on Buddha. Like, they're just a little too strong right now. And the problem is, even if they extend the game, I just can't see it coming together here for Lit Esports. It is going to be a tough mountain to climb. And I'm not sure if they've packed appropriately for it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they left a few grappling hooks at home to latch on coming up this mountain. They're about halfway up, I'd say, at this point, but they're starting to get to that point of no return. And it's looking pretty steep from here on out.
I'd leave the grappling hooks at home, too, if I was Banks, because it feels like every single one has just gotten him into trouble.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Banks in this game. That is for sure. And now
the scoreline's better than it was.
Pushing the top lane.
Yeah, the siege is definitely on here. JJ Luna looking to try to zone out a little bit. Severe in the mid lane, looking to just cause some problems, be a general nuisance. It's really just waiting until Baron's up. 15 seconds to go. You can already see they're angled toward it. The ward coverage is really good. Interesting that they don't want to go for any picks. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought they would maybe Death Bush, but I think Lit Esports Blue just knows that it's not their Baron to contest. Even walk in there, it's just not really worth their time because the game ends for sure there.
Yeah, the thing is, though, in this situation, 5 people with Baron, I kind of think the game ends anyway, no?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like...
Oh, absolutely.
It's kind of a do or die thing. I think they probably should have fought, not because they can, but because they have to. Them getting Baron here, being this far ahead, 4 Drakes, Ocean Soul with 2 Ocean Drakes in their pockets is a lot of healing. Just the amount of gold and stats they have now, they're sending 3 people mid to go deal with Buddha while 4 are pushing top. It's very dire for them at this point.
Yep, and as long as Team Ambition Fear plays this carefully, they will be A-okay. Buddha just running down JJ Luna, and JJ Luna will fall. It is now a 5v4. Scorpio looks to head with the rest of the team, but they are already backing off. They know they cannot defend this. They want to turn on to Buddha. They kind of have to. Severe taking some turret shots. The team's a little split up here. They are going to make the engagement happen. And Buddha dealing a lot of damage, but taking a lot themselves. But the sustain is too much. And Alistair comes flying in from a couple screens away. And they're going to be able to clean up the rest of this fight. They're going to be able to clean up this game. And Team Ambition Fear with a solid, clean game. And they take the series 2-0.
EA Fear came out swinging, looking like a completely different team than they have in the past couple weeks. It looks like they recognized that they needed a win, and they came out big time against Lit Esports here. 2-0 over the right now number 2 seeded team, technically tied for first, but it's a 1 loss difference between number 1 and number 2. But we talked about at the beginning of the whole series that this was the team to beat. They do it, and with that, depending if anybody has any stat lines for me for SDC Death Guards and Go Next Gaming, if either of those teams lost, they should bump up into maybe, I think, third if both teams lost 2-0.
It was a Death Cards victory.
Okay, so Death Cards still stay up there. Not sure how Go Next is looking, but I think at the very least here, they are cementing themselves in the playoffs with that win.
Yeah, super impressive stuff coming out here. Team Ambition Fear now 4-3. Lit Esports Blue fall to 5-2. And Team Ambition Fear really, really needed that. And they earned it. They played so well. Really impressed with what they put together here today, Fury. And now, again, listen, when they were losing, I thought the standings were shaken up. The standings have been shooken up even more with their victory now, putting them at 4-3. these top spots and these seeds, this seeding is going to be really, really important because a lot of these teams are very strong, and you want side selection against every single one of them.
Yeah, and now just like that as well, it kind of puts any doubt in anyone's minds that they had an easy first 3 weeks, that maybe they had a gimme first three. They go against one of the hardest teams in the league right now, and they won 2-0 cleanly. So that should kind of show any team looking into, when they get to playoffs for the seeding, that they're not a team to be messed with. They are a still top contender team for sure. Looked very, very good tonight. Barring an 0-2 loss next week and an 0-2 loss in week number 9, they look pretty set going into playoffs. If that does change, that'll be big for sure. Whoever they're going against, let me see. Week 8, they go against SDC Death Cards, which isn't an easy one for sure. And then
That'll
week number 9, let me see here. Why did my schedule just broke? Sorry. Week number 9, they go against Raw Shadows. If I'm gonna be honest,
that's winnable.
That's winnable for sure.
That is winnable.
Week 8, a little bit iffy, but week number 9, surely winnable. So looking solid. I mean, I think we already know that Lit Esports has rocked themselves into playoffs, barring another 0-2 loss in the next couple weeks as well. That could be huge. These next 2 weeks are so important for playoffs for everyone in the top 5 right now.
Yeah, and Dorado Gaming just won, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are now 6-1 and have put themselves in a great position all alone at the top of the table for the first time all season.
Yeah, I think that as well. Let's see, they'll be 7-3. Yeah, no, they're guaranteed playoffs even if they do lose the next couple of games. So congratulations to Dorado for sure. But SDC Death Cards, TA Fear, Lit Esports Blue, and Go Next Gaming, they are right at the cusp. Even Evo Shade are all right at the cusp. Only one team is guaranteed at this point. Nobody else is.
Yeah, there could be some big shakeups in the league, but a couple of leagues that don't have too many big shakeups. It's Platinum, it's Gold, and it's IBS. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not really too prepared to talk about Gold or IBS, but I am prepared to talk about Platinum because I will be stepping in for Nyarko tomorrow to see New World Nebula take on Degenerates Exiles. I'll be on the cast with Shibby. So if you aren't tired of any Blue Otter League action and you need some more in your life, and let's be honest, everybody needs some BOL action in your life, catch that tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be there for that. But Fury, I believe that does it for us here this evening. So for myself, for Fury, for our producer Ejinx, for the entire Blue Otter League family, thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the games we had on tap, and I hope to see you tomorrow for some more Blue Otter League action.
Bye.
Bye-bye.